Assalamualaikum viewers, hope so you are doing great. In this video, I will tell you about France. France is burning and this video is part 2. Part 1 is uploaded before. The link of part 1 is given below the description box. You can see this part before watching this video. So let's start. Every year 13% of their GDP goes only to pay pensions. This expenditure is $136 billion. So what does the government do? They take loans. France's debit to GDP ratio has reached the highest in Europe. If France earns $100, then they have a debit of $350 on its head. For compensation, if India earns 100, then we have a debit of $90. France is dire need of reducing this debit. To solve this problem in the future, if the retirement age increases from 62 to 64, then those who used to retire at the age of 62 will work for 2 more years. That is, they will remain productive for 2 more years and contribute to the economy and pay some more taxes. Now we have understood the point of view of the government. So, have all these people who have taken to the streets gone mad? Of course not. Protesters say the pension system provides a safety net to retireds. For healthy people, 2 years in not a big deal. But some people work in a very stressful environment. For example, nurses who at times work for more than their shift are beset by death and tragedy. And this has an impact on their health as well. So, it is valid for them to retire at the age of 62. They should not be forced to work for 2 more years. Plus, today, those who are young say that we have paid for the pension of our older generation to date, and some part of the 11,000 euros that the government talks about come from the taxpayers' pocket. So when we are old, why shouldn't we get this benefit? I mean, it's a logical right. Protesters say that working 2 years extra should be voluntary, not mandatory. When old people retire, young people take their place. The same thing happens in labor-intensive jobs like construction. So if old people have to do mandatory work for another 2 years, unemployment among young people will increase. Those who are senior in age will get promotions and young people will not wait. As a result, people are angry. They are blocking trains. Workers are refusing to pick up garbage and have come onto the roads. Tear gas and water cannons are being used to stop them. And the government is trying to convey the rationality of these reforms to the people, but till now the government has not been successful. Chapter 3. Will the French government fall? Today 67% of French people say remove Macron. In the last few days, 2 attempts have been made to remove Macron's government, but the opposition failed both times. This means somewhere French leaders believe that these reforms are controversial, but they are necessary. France has made many mistakes in this whole issue, from which, as a democracy, India needs to learn. The first mistake is that they passed this law in a hurry. Protesters say that there were no discussions on this. The second mistake they made was that they underestimated the French protest culture. France is a country that not only deposited King Louis in the French Revolution but decapitated him. Literally, there is a culture of protest in France. And the public can get out of control. The government forgot this. The third mistake is that in any democracy, no matter how good a reform is, it should be gradual, slowly, not with the bang. This lesson is not only for the government of France but also for the government of India. Chapter 4. So why are we making these videos? Labor laws and pension laws are changing in France. Does it make any difference to India? Not at all. But one thing is to be learned from this whole incident, that a pattern emerges here in finance as well as in India. The basic thing is, why do people get upset? There are three reasons why people are angry in finance. People considered Emmanuel Macron as authoritarian. They think that he listens to the companies, not the general public, and does what is good for the companies. New and controversial laws are passed in haste with little discussion, and there is a lack of transparency. People do not believe that these laws are for their good. Protesters believe that if Macron is considered about the economy, he can raise taxes on the rich, but he is making people's means lesser. If you think a little carefully, then during this farmers' protest, the same complaint has been made by the northern farmers to the government. Whenever a new law comes which wants to change the existing system, its communication and discussion needs to start beforehand. Otherwise, no matter how good and how bad a law is, it doesn't matter. The only difference is how well is rich people. India is not perfect and we always blame our system. That's correct. India's political system is flawed because we do not focus on reforms. Many of our laws are there from the British era. Important laws which are made to suppress people, they are followed even after 75 years of independence. For example, the Indian Penal Code was made in 1860. When my great-grandfather was not even born. Don't know how many things have changed since then. But our police station still work in the same way as they used to work in the British era. Reforms are needed. Don't our leaders know this? Of course they know it all. But everyone is afraid of bringing reforms because who knows what will be the reaction of the people. If the control is lost, then there will be a riots. And who will stop them? This is an example. Now you think about what other such laws are there which are in dire need of change in India. If you get value from this video, go to learn something new, then share it with your friends, because when we learn from other countries' mistakes, we can avoid repeating them, and bringing that important message to you makes a difference to me. Hey friends, thank you so much for watching this video till the end. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And if you are interested in geopolitics, then you can watch such interesting videos here. What is the impact of climate change and heat wave on Indian's economy? You can see here. Thank you so much for watching, because your support matters to us. See you soon. Take care.